What's going on, YouTube family? This is probably going to be a little bit of a longer video than last week, hopefully. Let me drop the hood so you can see me. Oh, wow, look, you can see my face. So today we have an unexpected video to put up for you. It's going to be a brake job on the fiance's daily driver. So first things first, before we get into the fun stuff, taking stuff apart and fixing it, and getting into the tools, I just wanted to get into diagnostics, because that's really step one, right? You can't fix anything if you don't know what's broken. So the symptoms that we had on this vehicle were steering wheel wobble, so it would do kind of like it would shake at a certain speed, steering wheel wobble, low acceleration, slow acceleration, and then hard braking, or kind of pulsating brakes. So with the first one, as far as the shaking steering wheel, that could be steering components, alignment components, really broad strokes. And then with the second one, where it's slow acceleration, and add that, because both of these are new phenomenon. So now I'm starting to think, hopefully maybe drive line, something in the actual axle itself might be busted up. And then the third is the bad brakes. So I'm thinking, that moved me. So you kind of go from broad strokes, so it's definitely something in the front end, something underneath the hood in the front end. I was thinking either driveline or transmission. So it's definitely something in the front end. Now we narrow it down to bad brakes, so it's something in the braking system. And then the fourth thing that was very obvious is the passenger side caliper was smoking when we stopped. When we stopped to investigate, and it was sizzling. Like we put some water on it, and it started to bubble and hiss. So we knew exactly at that point in time what was wrong. That means that the caliper is bad. That means it will close, but when you release the brake pedal, that piston is seized, so it won't go back to open. So basically it's holding the brakes against your rotor. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll show you and break it all down. But basically it's holding the brakes against your rotor, causing a lot of friction, causing shaking, because it's trying to hold one corner of the car while the other three are trying to go forward, because it's all-wheel drive. So that'll cause the shaking, that'll cause the slow acceleration, and that'll cause bad braking as well, because it's taking all the brake fluid but not returning it to the system. So what we're going to do today is we're going to replace both front calipers and check the rears, because there was nothing wrong with the rears that I could see. There's no heat, no excessive wear, no excessive noise on those. So we're just going to check them, make sure they're good. So we're going to replace the front as a pair, and then we'll put in new pads as well, because these are smoked, guaranteed these are smoked. And you usually want to replace in pairs. It's just the way it's done, so that way now you have a brand new one here that's squeezing really hard on that caliper. That caliper squeezing really hard on the rotor. You don't want that, whereas this one is the old one that's not as hard. So now you're going to kind of do this thing when you're braking. It'll kind of pull you to the right. Same thing as a tank. Basically, to turn a tank, you just stop one side and keep going, so it'll kind of turn the vehicle. All right, that's enough of me yapping. I just wanted to kind of go over that, so that way you can kind of see where my headspace was. Now, go into the tools and the fun bits. First things first, and most importantly, is going to be food. I have some friends coming over, so we can get this knocked out, because I have a million other things to do. So get them food. This unnamed company doesn't make the greatest coffee, so I made my own coffee. So food and coffee. Then obviously we got new pads. Doesn't matter what brand, really. Manufacturing has come to a point where, generally speaking, regardless of what brand you buy, you're going to be fairly okay. So, new brake pads, I have one rotor because as the auto parts store, as is standard with the auto parts store, they have one part or one set, but not the other. They have half of an item. So I am going to go get the other one of these later on because they're getting it shipped. Brake fluid. Again, mileage may vary. Doesn't really matter what you get as far as that. Not a really lot of specialty tools. It's all fairly obvious. Wrenches, sockets, all that. Whole 9 yards. Oh, something you might not have thought about. One of these guys, turkey baster. We're going to pull out, since brake fluid is hydroscopic, it likes water, and over time it will collect water and create, in any system, you know, new system, old system, it will collect water and start to corrode your system. So we're going to pull out as much as we can, put the new stuff in and bleed that through the system, and hopefully overall improve that, the braking system. Then you got your flare nut wrenches, or whatever you call these. These are really helpful for breaking loose. I have a whole set. I just pulled one out. These are really helpful for breaking loose banjo bolts, any kind of brake fitting, since it's usually just seized on there with rust. So that's always nice. Then vice grips. Never go wrong with a good pair of vice grips. And since it's completely seized, and we're probably going to have to beat it off of the rotor, beat the rotor off the caliper, good old 20 ounce, 23, 28, 20 something ounce hammer, your mileage may vary, and a block of wood. So we're definitely going to have to probably smack the hell out of it, and more than likely, since everything's going to be seized, we're probably going to have to hit the majority of the things. Also, obviously, jack stands, yada yada, because we're going to have to get the front end in the air. But as far as the jack stands go, we're waiting for my buddy to get here, because he's got a jack that's not on 3 wheels and missing pieces. So once he gets here, we'll get started. But it should be a fairly interesting day. I'll try to be as informative as I can as we go. Try to get the camera really in there so you can really see what I'm doing, so you can do it yourself. But let me break into this caliper here, and I can kind of show you what I mean. Okay, big heavy chunk of steel. What we got here, banjo bolt, pass-through bolt. So if you can see, it's got a, ooh, can you see that? You can barely see that. That's annoying. Anyways, oh, there it is. It's got a hole in it. It's got a hole. Oh, it's only got a hole in one side. Okay, so banjo bolt's got a hole in one side, so the fluid's going to come in here. These are crush washers. They go on either side. It goes in here and then goes down into the piston, so that way there's not any kind of elbow or any sort of weird contraption. Just makes life a little bit easier. I like banjo bolts. They make my life, like I said, they make my life a lot easier. And then there's a collar that goes around that'll fill with fluid and then go into the thing. These are going to be mounting your mounting bolts, obviously, to mount it to the vehicle. But this is what I was talking about right here. This right here, this ring that you can see, that's your piston. So what's happening in the vehicle now is this, when you hit the brakes, it goes towards the camera. Here, let me see if I can. All right. So here's the piston here, and when you hit the brakes, it pushes the brake pad that way against your rotor, causing friction and making it stop, making the vehicle stop. But what's happening on that one is it's not retracting, as far as I can tell, or something's malfunctioning. Also, bleed screw right there. So what you're going to do is you're going to crack it, crack the bleed screw, and then the way I do it, because usually I do it by myself, is you take whatever is handy. Usually these big jugs of sweet tea work well, and then you just take a rubber elbow, and you pop that on the bleed screw. You fill this up with not gross, old fluid. You put new fluid in here, and then bleed that through. So basically you hit the brake, and then it'll push out all the old stuff, and then suck up some new good stuff off the bottom. Or at least that's the theory. You're going to have to change this frequently, obviously, if you want all the old stuff to go away. So you have to keep adding, which is why we have so much .3. But that's it. We'll get more into this when my buddy shows up, and we'll get started. This is probably going to be a long form video. Hopefully you enjoy. Stick around to the end. Things should be fairly informative. If you don't know how to do it, let me just say now, I'm not an expert. Don't do exactly as I do. My buddy is coming over who's a professional mechanic. He's going to show us exactly the right way to do it, and hopefully we can show you the way that he does it as well. So, all right. Catch you in the next part. Welcome back. So we're pretty much at a stopping point at this point in time due to waiting on the jack. I have a 3-wheel jack. It's not safe. Okay, there's just dude, if you touch my donut, I will shoot you. Yeah. Dang, these squirrels are greedy. He's looking right at my donut like, hey man, let me get that. You trying to I will cook you. Boy. Damn. He's like walking right up on me, about to steal my donut. What the hell was I saying? This shady little thing, man. Hold on. Eat my donut now. What the hell was I saying? Dang. Squirrels, man. Anyways, alright, so we're basically at a stopping point waiting for the jack. I got the lug nuts broke loose on the tires. Quick tip on that. Don't do what I did, what I used to do, until my buddy gave me the old head smack. Said, what are you doing? So, you want to tighten your lug nuts on your vehicle enough to be snug, but not tight. Not over tight. Basically, you want to be able to loosen it with a good solid push, not, jumping up and down on the thing. That's too tight. You can stretch your studs, you can break your studs, you can strip your studs. Don't do it. But anyways, while we're waiting on the jack, and this beady-eyed squirrel is still staring at me, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take out the old power steering fluid, except for that's not the case. Brake fluid, .3. Taking out the old .3. Yeah, so I'm going to bring you in here for that. Oh, wow. Well, it's nice to see the sun for the first time in 10 years. Basically, what we're going to do here, it doesn't look too bad, but like I said, it's hydroscopic. So basically, take your bottle, bring it as close as you can, shove it in there. Just got to pop the cap. And then some of them, like this one did, had a little filter piece, like that. It sits in there, so there's no debris when you're filling it. Just pop that off. Pull this, and away you go. Like I said, the new fluid is clear. This is slightly brown, so it's been changed fairly recently. But while I'm here, might as well pull all this out. And we will be bleeding the whole system. Hey, get away from my donuts! Oh, Scott! Damn, always got to be coming when my hands are full. Go! I'm going to get 22 and I'm going to shoot this squirrel. Dang, man. Anyways, so, yep, just pull it out like so. And then, you're not trying to get all of it because you will be bleeding the brakes, but you don't want to be pumping all this old stuff through the lines, it just makes your life a bit harder. It'll just be easier to pump, because I mean there's still going to be some fluid in the master cylinder, which is what this is behind. I don't know if you can see that. It's really dark on my phone, so hopefully you can see that, and I'll try to brighten it up in post. But this little punk of a squirrel's going to get shot. Get off my donuts! All right, y'all, I gotta go. I'm gonna make some squirrels too. That was all I just wanted to show you real quick. Just pull out the old stuff so you don't have to worry about pulling it all through the lines, because pumping the brakes 655,000 times is a real pain. Your leg starts to go numb and you want it to fall off, so you just pull out all the old crap, and then as you go, you're just gonna put in the new stuff. But like I said, it doesn't look bad. It's dark brown, light kind of tan. It almost looks like slightly used motor oil. It's not bad. So we'll call that. Hopefully the sun will keep coming on up and it won't, you know, do the R word that I'm not going to say because I don't want to jinx myself. But catch you in the next part. This is going to be a long video. All right. Yeah. All right, so this is why it's not working, right? Let me drop you all the way down. Actually, let me just pull you off the tripod. But we are completely seized on there. So plan is gonna go ahead, remove these bolts. I'm gonna have to brighten this all the way up. I know you're not gonna be able to see that, but I'm gonna remove this one, remove that one, hit it many times with a hammer, and hopefully the whole thing will just come shooting off the back. And then we'll take the banjo bolt off. And here, let me stop this, and I'm gonna flip it around and show y'all what I'm doing. Sorry about your foot. I know, my bad, dude. Shoot. Step 1, get friends. Step 2, work on cars. All right, I'm gonna stop this and flip it around.
We're doing brakes too, or shoot pads.
Yeah, we're taking everything off. All right, so I guess I'll just be cameraman on this one. What the hell is that thing?
So it's just the way that they have these on here.
Okay.
It sits like that, just makes it a little easier to pull them off.
Just for the. All right, so we pulled off this bolt and that bolt, and that actually pulled the caliper boy off.
Mm-hmm.
And then, are we taking the brackets off as well? We shouldn't have to.
No, we don't have to.
Okay.
We're just replacing the.
Yeah. So as long as the bracket's fine.
Yeah.
There are 2 more bolts back here, but as long as the bracket's fine, we won't have to replace those. That's good. I thought this was gonna be a 3-4 hour job, but I think we're done.
We're getting close.
Yep. Hammer. All right, I'm just gonna be handing tools, so. But this is why it pays to have friends. Look at this. I said come help, and they're doing all the work. Like, I guess I'm handing tools around. But here's the one that's all broken. Oh yeah. You want to block it? Nope. Whack a smack it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You want the block of wood? Holy shit, man.
For what?
That's yeah, that's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to, oh my lord. You have to take, oh, yeah, wow. Okay, so.
There. Did you get it off?
Yeah, I got it all.
Oh yeah, that's why. Look at that. That's all, what is that, just rust? The whole thing is, look at this, Jeremy. This whole thing is just rusted into pieces.
Wow.
That's why that's not working.
Yeah.
See, look, and now look, you can rotate the rotor. Oh wow, that's what you're supposed to be able to do. All right, this is junk. And then that's the this right here is the actual bracket that got taken off on this side. Didn't have to get taken off on that side because we didn't have to beat that side off with a hammer. So
Those are actually decent.
Yeah, they're decent pads.
They're decent pads that are now wrapped.
they were, yeah. But this is what I was saying before.
Look at the heat.
The heat
heated it and cracked it. They basically tried to retouch it.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. All right, so I tried to focus the camera and broke the app, but I don't know if this is focusing. I hope it is.
The 14 because there's 15 over here. 15
Is it
and
focused?
13. No 14.
Okay, look.
That seems to work.
Left foot.
There it is. Hold on. Hold on. And turn up the brightness on my phone so I can see what I'm looking at. There we go.
Toss it to Justin, and all he said was "ow," and I don't know where he put it at.
I'll put it back. What are you looking for?
The 14.
I didn't have the 14. You tossed me the 12.
No, I tossed you a 14. You handed me a
tall
12.
boy?
No, it was a short
Yeah,
one.
but this is what I was talking about. See all this cracking right here? That's due to the heat. So that's no good. Anyways, we are actually gonna have to remove these brackets, just because the new ones come with brackets that aren't rusted. And my buddy came over with an impact. Sweet mother of God! There it goes. Oh yeah, I would have been in there all day. Oh wow. She is greasy or rusty, needs to be greased, but not bad. That's good work. All right, so new stuff on that's not rusty.
Sweet.
Sweet. Professional mechanic show you this. So it comes. The new one comes with these right here. These things that he's installing.
Hardware.
The new hardware, and then it also comes with the springs.
More hardware.
These are what? These are going to be to hold in the.
No, they're just a spring to spread out the brake pads.
Okay.
So they don't ride up against the rotor.
Okay.
So they don't wear out as fast.
So basically, it's going to keep them from actually grabbing onto here. It'll keep them kind of like spread like that until you hit the brake, and then they'll squeeze. Okay. Fancy. It's going to be a bit.
Pads.
It's going to be a bit weird to edit this video, so bear with me. What we were talking about earlier. So the spring hooks in one pin per each and keeps it in that orientation until you hit the brake to push. And then the piston here will override that spring and close everything together. And then, so this is the bracket, and then those two bolts, the one that he's putting in right now, you just drop one of those, and then this whole piece will come out. And then you can put the new brake pads in. It's going to be a bunch of shortcuts. Look at this thing. Look at that tool. That's about tight. I got to get one, man. All right, and then pretty much all we got to do is...
Almost like I do this for a living.
All we got to do it now is take off this banjo bolt.
It's almost like I do this for a living.
And put it on to this new shiny banjo bolt. What, crush washer... Sam, crush washer on each side?
Yeah.
Like, all right, so crush washer like that. Banjo in the middle. All right. You know, we'll get back to you later then. Both sides installed. This is what they look like. Shiny, shiny. My son is hilarious.
Making sure
Everybody's awake now. All right, so what we're doing here is gravity bleed. We're gonna go ahead and crack the bleeder nipple, and then just kind of let it drip for a second. This is something I just learned, and then we're gonna go do it on the opposite side. And then once we're done with this, we'll go to the back and I'll show you exactly what we're gonna do. All right. All right. We are back. We're on underneath the vehicle. We've gravity bled these, so there's fluid, new fluid coming from the front of the vehicle through the lines and in here. So basically now what we're gonna do, we're gonna take our wrench and we're gonna once again break these loose, which hopefully should be easier this time since, you know, they're not tightened with the force of rust and all that. So hold on. Ready? And there we go. Alright, break that loose. Now there's gonna be liquid coming out. And basically all we're gonna do is have one of the boys step on the brake pedal. Alright. Alright, go ahead and kick the brakes.
What?
Kick the brakes. Hit the brakes.
I know, they didn't do anything.
Hit it harder.
Oh, you want me to press on the brake pedal? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You said hit the brake.
And then, as you can see, we're just going to keep going until there's no bubbles. And he's going to...
Close it up.
Oh, we're doing it that way? Alright.
I don't know how loud I should make it. Can you even hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it. Alright. Alright, go ahead and release it. Alright, so what we're doing is I'm going to tighten it. He's going to go ahead, release the brake pedal. I'm going to break it loose. He's going to push the brake pedal, and we're going to continue like that. Alright. I'll get back with you when all that's done. Alright. Welcome back. Sorry, I didn't have a chance to record the very finishing touches. I was jumping around a lot. We had the kids outside, or my son outside. Everybody was outside, and I was jumping around a lot. Didn't really have time to video. So basically, what I did is I did the gravity bleed on passenger front, passenger front, and then driver front. And then we did an actual power bleed. So what that is you crack the bleeder, somebody steps on the brake pedal, and then wait till it goes to the floor, and then tighten the bleeder, and then repeat 7,000 times. So basically, we did that on the front passenger, front driver first, and then we went to the back, because as Sam, my mechanic buddy, was saying, basically you're not going to be able to bleed the back brakes because there's so much air in the lines from the front. So we just did a gravity bleed in the rear, and then in the front, and then in the rear. And then we did end up doing just a little bit of a power bleed in the back, which is, again, crack it, brake pedal, tighten, release the brake pedal. This is a long form video. I do appreciate you for sticking around. And if you have any questions, this will be on the Reddit. I think probably on the Car Talk, car maintenance forum. So if you have any questions, hit me up there. I'll try to link my YouTube or my Reddit in the description. Alright, be blessed, have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one.